Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 20 of SMY Podcasts. I am Mano, and today we brought in a special guest, and you just want to see what he has. Find out what it is in just in a few seconds. Well, today, what we are going to be talking about is go-karting, and it's starting to pick up really well in Malaysia. All right. Well, as you can see, obviously, Yash is currently unavailable, and we wouldn't say currently unavailable. He left SMY podcast because of due to personal reasons and personal issues. Right. Well, as you may have seen in our Instagram platform, I have told that. And no worries, SMY podcast will be still running by me. And we're gonna bring our new agenda for this SMY podcast. The new SMY podcast is gonna be more guest driven, and we'll bring in more guests to share more stories with you guys. So we have AYDAN in the show today. And yeah, hi Aiden.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for
Yeah,
inviting me to the show.
yeah, no problem. Our pleasure. So you have been a racer, right? You have been a go-kart racer, and you have won so many
I've
things, right?
I've
So
won few things.
yeah, you
Not
won.
I wouldn't say so much.
All right. So all right. Before we start into the main questions, what is go-kart? Could you actually explain briefly?
Go-kart is the first step to becoming a racing driver. You
Mm,
see in Formula One or NASCAR or Le Mans, AYD, most of the drivers I guarantee started in go-kart.
go-kart. So who inspired you to become a go-kart racer?
Who inspired me? I think I started go-kart because I first started off in sim racing, playing games. And
Mm,
I thought I was quite good at it, so I gave it a try when I was on a holiday in Langkawi.
right.
Everybody said I had potential to be better, so that's where I started. Just went to the track one day, tested it, and turns out I was quite good, so I
Mm.
continued on.
So how old were you when you started racing?
I started sim racing when I was 10, and I started go kart when I was 12. So just started, I guess. Still quite new. I know
Oh,
some of my friends, they all started when they were 8 or 6 years old. So
yeah,
young.
yeah, true.
So
Well,
I'm quite a newbie.
yeah. So as you said before, right? This is similar to Formula One, right? This is similar to Formula One,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like
Like mini Formula One.
like a practice, right?
Yeah.
Right. I see. Well, what? Okay, you started at the age of 10. What is the recommended age for someone to start go kart? But in considering, for him or her to be matured and to take the safety precautions, how old should he or her supposed to be when starting go kart?
I think most drivers start at 8, but I started at 12 so that my father, sorry, let me rephrase that. I started at 12 because if I started too early, my father thinks I was not being mature enough and disciplined enough, to do all the training, all the practice.
Yeah, true.
So I would recommend starting around 10 to 12, but I know a lot of drivers start when they are 8.
I see. Right. So, how are the trainings like? Is it simple to catch up, or is it like really hard? Let's just say you miss one training, and then is it hard to catch up, or is it like you know it's about practice? How are the trainings like?
The training, that's what I mean. Training sessions is. I know some people do it every week, and
Oh,
those are really the top teams. So it's not you want to go training; the team tells you to go training at the track.
so do you have a team
I
with you?
Yeah, but we
Right.
do around maybe once 1 week per month. Depends on how many races there are in a month.
I see. Well, in a group like you said, right? In your group, how many people are there in that group?
In the two championships I joined, in total there are about 14 drivers. So in the first championship KRD, there is 8 drivers in my category, and in MTC, which is Malaysia's national go-kart championship,
Hmm?
there is 6 drivers in my group.
All right. So we were talking about safety just now. So
Mhm.
what are the equipments needed for starting to ride a go-kart? What are the equipments? Like what do you wear, or what do you put on before starting a race or practice?
If you are starting in fun carts, which is the rental ones, you can just pay few dollars and after that just go in and drive. That's usually need a long sleeve t-shirt, pants, shoes, gloves, and obviously a helmet.
Oh yeah, all right, I see.
As for if you're driving one of the carts that you have to drive for a team, you need
Yeah.
a full suit, fireproof suit, and gloves, shoes,
Oh,
and helmet.
so that
Some
so
champions they tell you to wear a rib protector so
mm,
that you don't hurt your chest area.
yeah, I see. We're talking about fun carts and go-karts, right? Um,
Yep.
what are the differences? Fun kart like a junior version of go-kart?
Fun card is like the one you can see in your background. You know, it has
Oh,
all the
oh.
bumpers and basically anyone can get in and drive. Quite easy to drive. Just a bit heavy to drive, but
Mm,
overall easy. Anyone can jump in and it's already prepared at the track. Whilst
mm,
for a go kart, like a racing kart, you have to either buy that one or you have to join a team to drive it. And that's
mm.
one's for the real pro racers.
Yeah, so do you have a go-kart?
Yeah, I have. It's a
So
Parolin.
I see. So what are the price range to buy your own go-kart?
Price range. If you're buying second hand, around 5 to 15,000. If you're buying straight from the factory, then 50,000 plus.
Oh,
Some go
wow.
up to 50,000.
That's kind of expensive actually for a
Yeah.
go-kart. You need to maintain it well.
Yeah.
So,
So I bought a second hand one, a bit cheaper.
oh, I see. So, are there any transmissions in or gears in a go-kart?
Depends on what category it is. Like the one I'm driving, which is a junior cart, that one has no gears, just one gear. Whilst
Oh,
my I know some of my friends they drive DD2, which has 2 gears, and in Europe they drive KZs and KZ2s. Someone has 6 or 7 gears.
also, you mean gears like let's just say, you mean the like let's just say car gears, right? They have gear one, gear
Mhm.
two, gear three, gear four. Is it like that in the advanced levels?
It's a bit like that.
I see. So yours is like auto driven,
Yeah,
or yours is auto driven?
something like that. Yeah, I guess you could say it's like that.
Yeah. Okay. So, how much experience is needed for you to reach a certain level like yours? You see.
I think usually like I think most drivers would do what I did, which is 1 year of fun card, like the one you can see in your background.
Yeah.
Just practice and racing in those, the fun races, and then you move up to pro actual racing cards.
Okay. All right. I've been trying to start go-kart, right? I haven't went into go-kart. I've been seeing TVs, I've been seeing Instagram. It's kind of fun thing to do. Well, I'm 14, both of us are 14. Is it too late to start? Let's just say if you're 14 or you're 16. Is it too late?
I think if you're 16, that's a bit late. But I think 14, 15, you can still start go kart.
All right. All right. Correct. All right. Um, is there like, okay, let's just say, okay, for example, I play badminton, right? I play badminton,
Mm-hmm.
and I do individual exercises or activities like prior before going to, like, let's just say physical activities or
Okay.
uh, basic physical activities, anything that pumps your heart. Um, I play badminton. I have a certain level. Um, there are some exercises I do at home, but for go-karting, is it like that? Do you do any exercises at home or any practices at home?
You have to. The driving go-karts is very physical. Not only your arm strength have to be good, because the steering wheel is very heavy, it's heavier than, let's say, a road car, and
Oh,
also the G-forces on the neck. Usually drivers on the most fastest of corners will experience 2 to 3 Gs. So you
all
have
right.
to work on your neck, your arms, and also leg. You have to be very good with your leg work. So I think a dancer would be a good driver because you have
Yeah.
to balance your throttle, your brakes.
Mm, mm, all right. So is go okay? Like okay, fun card, right? You said you had to pay for each session, right? Fun card.
Hmm.
Well, for go kart, is it like that? Did you have to pay for each session, or is it free?
Yep, you have to pay your track fees.
Yeah. So,
Hello?
yeah.
Okay.
Um, how much do you usually pay for each session for the go kart?
For go karts, it's I forgot how much it is in Shalam, but in Sepang it's 160 for 1 day of testing.
Oh, you mean track fees? Track
Track
fees.
fee, sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Would you recommend go karting to another individual, or in fact to a friend, like like me? Would you recommend it to someone who's starting out a new sport or hobby?
Yeah, I think it's good to have a hobby like go kart because you go out more and you have to train a lot. So obviously you'll be a bit more fitter. Like I'm not sure if you remember beginning of last year I was a bit fat. Now I'm still a bit fat, but at least it's a bit more muscle in the arms.
Yeah. Okay. Um, what are your achievements? I was supposed to ask this before. I'm so sorry. What are your achievements so far? Like, could you explain it briefly to our listeners?
Achievements. I think most recent achievement was this. Not sure if the image is reversed, but it says second place at MKC, which is Malaysia's National Karting Championship. I
All right.
also came eighth in the Michelin final for expert category, which is me racing against some of Malaysia's best esports racers.
Wow.
I came second in last year's KID Fun Kart Championship behind my good friend Aaron Hakim,
All right.
and I've gotten a lot of other trophies. This is third for Fun Kart.
All right.
This is second for KRD Go-karts. And I have a second and another first place for Fun Kart. Not
Mm,
sure if you can
that's,
see.
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. No problem. Well, what advice would you give to a person who is starting out go-kart?
What advice?
I mean, I know you're not
It,
like, the
I'm
top
not the
level.
expert.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, what advice would you give? Like, what motivation or what advice would you give? Like motivation would you give to a person who's starting out, like let's just say me.
I think I would say just to train hard, keep fit, even in this pandemic times, because you never know when you're going to race.
Yeah, true.
Um, Practice a lot,
Mm,
not just on the track itself, but also on if you have a simulator at home, just play games, driving games,
all right.
just to keep, just that your reflexes are in top condition, and always listen to what your senior says, your more experienced people.
I see. Well, sadly, this is the end of the episode, and yeah, that's the most questions I could think of today. And yes, Aiden Khalid, thank you once again for joining today's episode. And this was a success. We have
Thank you.
no issues between us. And if you want more of Aiden Khalik's action on go kart, all the links are in the description box below. You can check us out. Check us out. Check Aiden out on Instagram. Check me out on Instagram. Check SMY Podcasts out on Instagram and Twitter. And yeah, thank you for listening. Streamers on Spotify, streamers on Google Podcast, streamers on Anchor, streamers on basically Apple Podcast, streamers on basically anywhere that you can find. Yeah. And we'll see you in the next episode. Peace out.
Thank you for inviting me. Hope to be back soon.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.